Good evening, Proxy Table Gaming fans. You're joined tonight by the Gobbo for the Goblins Grotto Hobby Show November. We also have with us today Mr. Scabvat.
Why, hello there.
Are you doing Lucky Sixes now, are you? Trying to do a different intro every time. Fair enough. Right, so please like and share and subscribe on all of the social medias. So we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, on multiple places. We're on the Ninth Age Forum. Pretty much everywhere you can think of, there is a Gobbo somewhere. Joining us today, we have a veteran of the PTG triumvirate, we'll say. We have Mr. Hobby G.
Hobby G. Oh, okay, yeah.
PTG,
All
Hobby
right.
G.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that can be. Oh, that's right. Hello, folks. Hello. I wandered down the corridor trying to do some battle reports tonight, and someone
Exactly.
grabbed me, pulled me into this room. Is this the thing we do battle reports in? Yeah.
This is the broom cupboard. This
This
is
is where we stuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Honoured to be here. Honoured.
No, really good to have you, and it's nice to have someone who isn't normally a hobbyist. You probably say
No.
yourself,
That is a safe statement.
giving your opinions and your outlook on the world, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Prepared to give them all.
And you can see on the right there, guys, we have Hobby G's new Saurian avatar from Mr. Nifty.
Yeah, beautiful work. Really good.
So that is the
Looks really nice.
Saurian general before he got stomped into the ground by goblins in June.
Did he though?
Yeah, that's the story that we're both going with. So
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I see.
yeah, we
Okay.
actually outnumber you with our alternative truth.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Would
I
we say
won't fight
alternative truth?
I would say
It's just
so.
the truth
Yeah.
for me.
it.
Anyway, so coming up in this episode, guys, we have a hobby update. We also have some local gaming centres to Yeovil. Just a couple of little, how do I explain it? They're little
Plugs.
plugs, yeah, little advertisements, just to say, go there and play Ninth Age. We have a discussion on unit fillers, and going to talk about what wonderful things they are. We have the first preview for the Art of War prize pool, which is the tournament that's coming up in February at Bristol Independent Gaming. Really looking forward to that. We're all going, aren't we?
hmm
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Have you decided what you're taking yet, Staff?
Yeah, it's going to be Orcs and Goblins. Yeah, absolutely. It's been Orcs and Goblins for forever. Is always going to be that tournament. 4 years after the last time I took Orcs and Goblins. So yeah, it's on rotation. Their
You're
turn.
just taking goblins, yeah? You don't need the orcs.
Yeah, I can lend you my army actually. It's got a good track record.
He's just
Which
gotta-
shelf of it?
Yeah. He's just got to scrape it off the feet of his temple guard first. And we're going to do a hobby letter to
comment.
Santa. Oh, exactly. He's going to edit it out later on to him, so don't worry. So, hobby letter to Santa. We're going to look at our wish lists. We're going to start jotting down because next month is Christmas, and we want to try and see what we can do for next year. Okay, so first up is hobby update for myself. So, I've been doing a little bit of commission work this month, doing a dual army. So, it's both Sylvan Elves and Demon Legions, which is quite funky. It's still in the, how do we say, we're still kit bashing it stage. As opposed to the painting stage, but this is the kind of like the inspiration that we wanted to go for. So they wanted to be used.
So I got away from this stuff.
Yeah, welcome back, Hobby G. So we wanted the dark, evil forest spirits, and like the harpies and the forest witches, and yeah, all sort of funkiness. So here is the first lot. So we have all the different dryads, we have all the thicket beasts, all to try and look as gribbly and evil as possible. Just, yeah, grim. Really fun. Really good fun. Just literally throwing all the different kits and bits I've got in the bits box together to come up with misshapen zombie ghoul dryad monsters, which is quite cool. And then we've also got some. These are the AOS Kinnerai hunters, again mixed with Dryady parts with different things again to try and look demon sprite, evil wood sprite sort of spirit. So again, really fun. I really enjoyed doing those, which is quite good. I've also done a little bit of stuff for myself. So I did some painting for my Undying Dynasty, so for my Atalantans, which is my Greeks. So I've managed to get the chariots done, which is quite nice.
Yeah, they look great.
Can you tell that they're Games Workshop chariots?
So, I actually fell foul of this because I couldn't put my finger on them when I first saw them.
Well, I can't.
Yeah, it's
Then,
the way
you know.
they're actually Tomb King chariots, which is quite good, and I've managed to
Okay.
kit bash and change some of the parts enough so that they don't actually look GW. So the one in the
Fair
center front, for example, I've added Tyrannoc chariot parts. I've added like a lion, the crest for the lion. They're called white lions.
See, I wondered what it was that I didn't like about them, and now you're saying about elf parts, and it all makes sense.
Exactly. It's because we ran the elf over and then we stuck his body part on the front. That's what it is.
Well, that part's fine.
Speed bump high elves. That's what we like. So this is like a work in progress of the horses. So it's a terracotta army, or it's going to be white marble army actually, but in Greek Hellenistic.
Yeah.
Help me out, guys. Hellenistic Greece.
That's how I'd
rather
say
than-
it. But...
I'm going to go with that, Mr. Chameleon. So in Hellenistic Greece, they have white marble as opposed to terracotta everywhere. And so that was my idea, so that anything living in this army would have turned to white marble rather than the terracotta. So we'll see what happens going forward. But that is the army currently, in its current state. So we've got the big chariot unit in the centre. We've got the Colossus, we've got the bow shabties, big unit of shabties on the right-hand side there. And I've kit bashed a Pandora's box casket as well in the top left, which is quite cool. So, looking forward to getting that done. I'm not sure if I'm going to take it to Art of War yet. I'm still in two minds as to whether to get the Lone Heart back. But we shall see. Mr. Scabfat, have you done anything this month apart from sound editing?
There's been a lot of editing, left, right, and centre. I did push myself to do some hobbying this month. So, like in the past, we've spoken about my new Vermin Swarm army, which I'm planning on kind of really kicking off next year.
Yeah.
In my infinite wisdom, I took one look at the army list I've got, which is around about 200 models, and I said to myself, what this army really needs is high intensity, like high workload basing. So I have spent what little time I can get using like Super Sculpey, like baking some Super Sculpey, using the Green Stuff World rollers, and then doing like a ruined city flagstone style basing, and kind of cursing myself with every base.
It's a labour of love, but it's looking amazing already.
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll really start to come together. Also on the left, I finally took the plunge and grabbed some Abyssal Dwarf Black Souls from Mantic, because I've realised that the clothing that they use is very, very similar to the clothing on the new Goblin models. So these chonky boys on the left are going to be my new Black Furs.
They don't look dangerous at all. They look harmless.
Hey. Very good.
Hey.
Very good.
Carry on.
And as you can see across those photos, I've also taken the time to sort out a number of unit fillers.
Yeah.
Topical.
That's good.
But yeah,
done.
that's kind of been it. Just something I can do at sort of like 3 a.m. in the morning when everyone else is asleep. The basing wasn't only just limited to my new Goblin army, though. we're taking a dip into some 40k. So I also went, oh, that Tau army that I've got, what it really needs? It's a high workload, high intensity basing scheme.
I sense a theme.
Yeah, right. So this is going for the kind of the ruined urban look. Really kind of bombed out. I'm finally finding a use for all of those supports for my 3D printing. They're now being reincarnated as random metal girders and
That's a really good idea.
Iron bars kind of under the rubble and
yeah.
that. But yeah, that's where we at.
Coming together, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I'm part Vallejo ground texture now. Like I've had so much of it on my hands and like in my face, and like it's just
part of the crew, part of the ship.
Yeah.
Okay, have you done any hobby at all? Hobby G?
Well, to be honest, I'm not the hobbyist, as you well know. But what I have been doing is I've been gluing, actually.
Nice.
And it's surprising over the course of however many years that you don't do any hobbying. How many models of yours actually break in battle or in moving shelves, in just tidying up, etc. And
like Goblin
in
chariots,
preparation. Well, I didn't do that, just for the record, and you know that. That did not go off the table because of me.
I don't know who did knock that off, but whoever they are, they're
but downwards. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No. But yeah, in preparation for the tournament, which I've most recently been to, I needed to do a bit of gluing, and I basically, instead of just doing the models that needed repairing, I actually did every model in my garage that was broken. So, if that counts as hobbying, then that is what I've been doing.
Yeah, definitely. There's recuperation and getting everything ready. And what's the next tournament after this one?
Art of War will be next for me. But we do have the Masters in between now and then, which obviously will be high spectacle.
Are you going to Masters?
Oh no! No, I don't think so. I think I could have entered the Open alongside, but I don't think I will. So.
Bless him, he wanted to give everyone else a chance.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to reveal whether or not I won tech, obviously, because if I win tech, which I may have already done, then I'll be in the Masters anyway.
You just said, "Oh hell no, I'm not going to the
Masters." All sorts of mixed messages.
Exactly.
You can take it however you like.
Well, good luck at the Masters, and we will see you.
Yeah, I'm just hoping the glue on my hands is actually come off by then.
Exactly. What glue are you using?
I don't know, but it's probably not bright glue because it blooming stings when I try and get it off my fingers.
Like Araldite or something like that. Boat repair epoxy resin.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got a little plug about some of the gaming centres in Yeovil, and we want to try and inundate them with the 9th Age games. So we have Atomic Comics and Games, which is run by a couple of my personal friends. I went to college with Alex many moons ago, who's one of the co-owners of the store there. Really good guy. He's played Warhammer with me since we were 17, so been a little bit, just a couple of years, we'll say. But because of playing Warhammer, he decided to open a comic book shop, which is awesome. So after many years now of his comic book shop, he's got expanded to have bigger premises. He's got, I think it's 10 gaming tables worth upstairs, which is fantastic. So again, he does Monday to Sunday. He's open every day of the week, 10 till 5:30, but 11 till 4 on Sundays. And he also does late night gaming 3 days a week. So Tuesdays, X-Wing and Blood Bowl. Wednesday, Warhammer 40k and other tabletop games. Then Thursday, he's actually got a really popular board game night, playing lots of different types of board games, and it's really good fun to meet people. And you can start to have that conversation about, oh, did you used to play Warhammer Fantasy? Well, would you like to see this? And start getting the conversation going about the 9th Age, and about starting to say, well, I can do a demo game for you. Tell you what, look at this website where all the rules are free, and you can use all the models that are downstairs on the shelf. And start.
Yeah, and there just so happens to be a little YouTube channel that you can go over to.
Exactly. For all your informational needs.
Exactly.
So best thing to do, guys, is if you call the team, so call Alex, Sean, Amy, and Caleb, and the dog Atlas, and give them a call, and you can book a table. You can try and see if you can book a game or a demo game as well. So they do lots of different games. There's so much available in the store there, plus also online on their website. So go into them, really, really support them.
Yeah, and just mention PTG when you speak to them, and I'm sure that'll get them a buzz as well.
Exactly. Yeah, get on the blower. And if you're not available week, there is also Yeovil Games Club, which is the first games club that I joined when I was straight out of school. I was 16 years old, and I used to play Warhammer Fantasy 6th edition. No, blimey, then. 5th edition, in fact, with my Nuln Empire gun line army, which was absolutely disgusting. And then 40k, but also then they started doing Dungeons and Dragons. So really good guys. They've been going for just over 20 years now, which is a fantastic sort of gaming thing to go through. They've survived the pandemic as well, which is nice. They're now looking for new players. So they play every Sunday at the St. Peter's Hall. Yeah, St. Peter's Hall in Yeovil. It's £5 for adult for the day, or £2.50 for under 16s. And that all goes towards the upkeep of materials and the actual rent of the building. But they've got loads of terrain. They've got, I think they can fit 20 tables worth in the hall there, which is fantastic. They play Infinity, they play Ninth Age, they play Kings of War, all the different Warhammer games, but they really, really do specialise in their Dungeons and Dragons and lots of the role-playing games. So again, give them a shout, give them an email, and book a table, or just get in contact with them on their Facebook group. And yeah, really nice guys. If you have a gaming centre that you would like us to talk about or put on a little advert, get in contact. We'd be happy to talk about it. If you've got any photos or reviews, let us know, and we're more than happy to put it on here as well. Whereabouts do you guys go?
My venue of choice is Bristol Independent Gaming. It's one of the, well, I it probably is the most successful venue in the Bristol area. Jim and Ellen, who run it, are fantastic hosts. The quality of like their setup quality is fantastic. They recently relocated to their new premises, and yeah, really looking forward to kind of introducing everyone to that new venue come February for War of Art. Art of War.
Yes. Is it warmer?
I have it on good authority that it is slightly warmer than the last one. Yeah.
Than the fridge.
Than the
It's
fridge,
always the incentive to get above the bottom tables was because you couldn't feel your hands.
Yes.
Fantastic. I loved in the bottom tables. Bottom tables are always the best, aren't they, Dan?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There's they're just cozier, aren't they? There's no real pressure.
And you're normally there as well, aren't you, IPG?
Only sometimes.
I think I've only ever been like top end. And that was game 1 against you, Dan. That was because we were put there. Everything else seems to be a sliding scale.
Only ways down from top table.
Brilliant. Where do you go, Staff?
I don't. I don't. I've literally been a garage gamer my entire gaming career. So yeah, never been to a local club at all. Obviously, I bought models before I discovered the joys of internet purchasing. But yeah, no, I've never had a proper gaming club. So it's a bit of a different world for me.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. And Lucky Sixes, where does he go? Milton Keynes?
Well, I suppose. Sorry, I should say that we game in Stony Stratford, in the club in Stony Stratford, but that's not a shop as such, so it doesn't have purchases. You can't buy anything, but there's lots of people playing lots of different kind of games there. So it's like a meeting hall where they have the tables set up for people to play tabletop. So I guess that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. No, fantastic. Okay, so next up, guys, is our first proper discussion, is unit fillers. So what are your thoughts? What are unit fillers?
Unit fillers are like models set apart from the norm that you might put in a unit, to either pad out the numbers, like the size of the unit, provide some sort of like visual difference.
I'd agree with that. Yeah,
Yes.
I think.
Fair enough. That's a good shout. So if you look at our wonderful blackguard there, so they've got a couple of the little things in the back there. So it's gone from being a 6, 12, 34, 50, 16 unit to a 20-man unit, 24-man unit, just by using those two different parts there as well. And they're not massive. So again, there's some unit fillers, which we'll go into in a second, which don't quite look right yet. However, he's managed to get this to make it look like part of the unit. The unit is walking through those ruins, walking towards you, and it just looks right, I think.
Definitely, I think it's beautiful.
So, comes to the first point. What is acceptable in terms of unit fillers?
So, like for me personally, when it comes to unit fillers, I have like a list of rules I try to stick to.
This is for your own personal ones.
For my own personal ones, but I mean, personally, I kind of think that it's good practice if everyone kind of followed it. But
yeah,
I think the most important thing when it comes to unit fillers is that you're not taking them purely to kind of waste space in the unit, if that makes sense. Like,
yes,
if you're just super gluing a rock to a large base that takes up the room of 10 models, like that's, I don't think that's in the spirit of a unit filler. As you can see from the unit fillers on screen at the moment, these models are all very involved. Personally,
Yes.
I feel that more effort should go into a unit filler than the rest of the unit.
Yes.
That's what I kind of consider acceptable.
Again, we're quite narrative players there,
Sure,
aren't we?
sure. But again, like, don't glue rocks to bases and call it a day. Like,
have you done that, Staff?
No. I've never done it to call it a unit filler. I've done it to call it a Goblin Fanatic. Literally glued a head to the ground and said that's what's left of a Goblin Fanatic.
You had a story for it, so I'm okay with it.
There you go.
So for me, I use unit fillers because it's really, really boring painting the same model over and over and over and over again. So for example, a unit of zombies. We all love zombies. Everyone loves zombies, but not 80 of them. So I try to go with the rule of thumb of 20%. So it can't be more than 20% of the unit is unit fillers. Does that sound about right to you, Dan?
Yeah, I mean, I do like 25. So in a unit of unit 4, like I've got units of 40 goblins, and I have 2 4 model unit. Like, so I'm unit filling 8 spaces in my unit of 40.
Yeah, which is 20%, isn't it?
Yeah. That agrees with Gobbo, not with your 25.
So I can also have some mushrooms.
There you go.
Yeah, mushrooms and a rock stuck to a base.
Yes, yeah.
It's fine. So for me, I do it to break up the skyline. So again, if everything's at the same height and it's all looking through, it's not fun to look at. Whereas I like using things like you've got the Garden of Moor set that's really popular for unit fillers. You've got the chappie in the centre here, the flagellant with on the horse. It's something to break up that silhouette, which I think is, when used correctly, works really, really well. And it builds character into the unit. So this guy's here. So if you had 12, so that takes up 12 models, I'd expect that to be in a unit of 60.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Anything more than that, and it starts to go away from, like you said, the spirit of it. You're doing it just to take up space as opposed to do it thematically.
Yeah, I mean, I find that when you start venturing past, say, the 25% mark, like if you've got a unit of 20 models and 10 of them are unit fillers, you really kind of run the risk of having your opponent look at the unit and say, I don't actually know what that represents.
Exactly.
Like, I didn't think you could take monstrous infantry.
Yes.
And you still need like the rank and file to kind of give that identity.
Exactly. It's similar lines to the WYSIWYG thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a picture of white lions next. I want to see what you think. Okay, so we've done it. What's acceptable? What's necessarily not acceptable?
Oh, I see. Lucky Sixes has been on the case again.
Exactly.
Seriously, tangent here, but whoever has that lion white bar, I want it because they are limited edition.
They're
They're
gorgeous,
not.
aren't they?
You can get them in co-op.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your next commission.
Is to get you some white lions.
Yes. Sorry, what were we talking about?
Ignore the nice, wonderful Nestle chocolate bar there. So what I'd like you to look at is the fact that it's 4 deep and 10 wide, and the lion bar, inverted commas, takes up the majority of it.
I would quite obviously say no to this unless I'm allowed to eat that lion bar if I kill the unit.
The lion bar's there as a metaphor. So, for example, if you had like your other things, your Garden of Moor, you had a big lion model there.
No, I'm sorry. You put a chocolate bar right where we can see it. It's this discussion isn't happening, Gobbo.
Okay, there you go. You can't see it now. There we are. A unit of 5 dragon princes.
It's not as tasty.
Yeah. So this. Yes, it's a bit harder to crunch on.
Imagine it would hurt if it got caught in your teeth.
So this kind of goes back to that whole idea of like when you look at that unit, what is it?
I have no idea.
Is it a dragon? Like it looks like a dragon.
Yeah.
And now I'm thinking, is there a rule in your army list that lets you take chauffeurs for your dragon?
Exactly. So this goes up. This is 60%. So 60% of this unit is taken up by unit filler. The one previously was about 70%.
Yes.
And it's just that to me goes away from the fact that it is a game as well. So it has to be feasible to be able to remove models. It has to be feasible because otherwise it's not making it easier, especially for your opponent. If you're trying to remove, oh, you got to remove 15 models. Oh, I can't really do that. I'll just remove the lion bar. And it's just like, do you see my point?
Yes, absolutely.
I suppose. Oh, I do.
So, here's some lovely, lovely unit fillers. So what do we think about this one?
A bit heavier, isn't it?
Definitely.
Still looks very nice. You know, you can't deny that it's artistic and it fits.
It's thematic for sure.
Yeah.
Personally, I would have asked for maybe only one, maybe the smaller tent. The tree is fine. I can't tell if the tree is its own thing or if it's part of the tent. But also, I mean, like, you can fit a mounted model on 20mm, like 2 20mm bases. So even just having like a squire or something on horseback, and yeah.
I like it. I like what they've done. I'd use that across every 3 units.
I mean, how many do you have to lose in one go to remove that unit filler on the left? Is it like 16 models you'd have to lose to remove that unit filler at the back left?
It looks like a 3. It looks like a 3x3.
Yeah,
or
there's quite a lot of models to lose in one go. I mean, you're talking quite a big impact to have to remove that at once, which takes it into the impractical side.
Unless you get dwarf organ gun it.
Well, yeah.
What about that?
I can't even see the filler.
Oh, sorry. It's the lion is stood on a rock in the second row. So it looks like that unit filler is only actually taking up like what 3 bases?
Yeah, 60mm.
Is it like 3x2 or 3x1?
3x1.
Okay, so I mean, if it's 3x1, I mean that's actually fine. Again, verticality, I think is just really cool to have in units.
Definitely. I quite like it. If it was taking up 6 spaces, that's a bit different because it's basically a rock with a lion on it, as opposed to a lion leaping over the front rank sort of thing. But yeah, interesting.
Yes.
What about these bad boys?
I actually really like that.
Yeah,
I like that unit. I know. So what? You've got trolls. You've got an orc down the front. You've got, is it an orc or another troll at the back? Like, I know it's kind of going against what we were saying earlier. I think it overshoots the 20% goal, but
Just about, yeah.
I think as a whole, the unit still identifies as a block of zombies.
Yeah. It's a shambling horde, isn't it?
Yeah, and I suppose one other thing to bear in mind is I know if we're talking Ninth Age, I know that zombies can't have big infantry in their units, so I'm not going to get confused that I'm not going to look at those big models and think, oh, do they do a thing? If you were playing, say, Saurian Ancients,
I was about to say,
yeah, then be careful with what you're representing. But the first thing I read that as was, oh, that's a cool unit of zombies with some big zombies.
That was my thought. I like the color scheme. I think it's really because it's pastel colors, isn't it? It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like my thoughts on proxying as well, like using models that shouldn't normally be in a unit. I obviously have a big background in proxying, so it's not a problem for me as such. But at the same time, like Scabbat mentioned, if you're using Caimans as a unit filler in a unit of skinks, then you're in trouble because Caimans can go in a unit of skinks, and that's where unit fillers go into dangerous territory.
Yeah, because it becomes confusing for the opponent.
100%.
Okay, got some more examples for you. I love that one.
Oh, this is a golden oldie.
Absolutely love it. Golden oldie. I think it's brilliant, and to have that in a unit of orcs, of course, it'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, arguably we could say that 100% of this unit is a unit filler.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It tells a story, and it doesn't necessarily lose models, for example, but there's something going on.
Yeah, I'd hate it if I had to change formation with that unit, though.
Yeah. There we go. That's a nice little vermin swarm example.
Yeah, not too bad, that one. The way that the models are spaced around the unit fillers is still decent.
So I like the fact that it's got lots of different things going on, so visually it's quite nice. But looking from the top, it's a nice example of making sure that you've got models that you can take away from it before getting to the unit filler.
Yeah, like I like what's going on. It's thematic for the Skaven idea, if nothing else. Maybe I would have done them as 2x2s. Had a few more rats, but otherwise, yeah, still looks very nice.
Yeah, I know slaves are an absolute pain in the bum to paint, so in that quantity anyway.
Sure, yeah.
On the left there, we have our Garden of More terrain. So again, that is the size, I believe, of 4 zombies.
Just 4? No, it's not too bad if it's just 4. I thought you were going to say that was like, I don't know, what, 15?
20 by 18.
Again, it's like if that's in the middle of a ranked up unit, that again, it's the verticality would just make it look awesome.
Yeah, it's a very common one using the Garden of More statues and the buildings. There's our leaping lion again. Okay, some more examples. Thoughts about this?
Oh.
So this is a Saurus unit. Facing to the front, but they're being attacked on the flank by some vermin swarm, which narratively I think is fantastic. But from a gaming point of view,
yeah, not so sure about that one.
It's the first time I've seen something like that, and it's intriguing. Especially the interaction between them.
I feel as a proxyer, I can't be too harsh on that. But at the same time, I don't really know what that unit is.
Yeah.
Again, the majority of them are Sauruses. Sauri. So it is effectively, 2, 4, 6 models worth of Saurus out of the Horde formation, which, according to our maths...
Yeah. I mean, I would never call it down, because it's beautiful, and I'm all in for proxying and telling a story. So,
This, I think, is a thing of beauty.
That's impressive. That's really impressive. I think another kind of unspoken guideline that I would give myself with the unit fillers is, I mean, if it looks like the person who made it put time, love, and effort into it.
Yes.
That's kind of what sets out. That's kind of the difference between a good and a bad
That
unit
one
filler.
there, for example, it has 2 ranks of zombies behind it, doesn't it?
Mhm.
So there's 2 ranks of zombies to take from it before it has to go into the filler. It's 5 wide, and you can start to take out, which is not too bad. And also, it's painted beautifully.
My only real issue with that one, funnily enough, is that the border of it actually.
Yeah.
It's like if you were bringing other units to bear against that and trying to close the gap, so to speak. Like, it's not massively easy to see what model is in contact with what. But that's my
Especially
only
when it goes up against the wall.
yeah, that's my only bugbear with that, and it's a real small thing for a very beautiful showcase.
That.
Oh boy,
is just beautiful.
Oh, wow.
nothing bad to say about that.
I mean, yeah.
It's amazing.
So these guys, these unit fillers for height, as opposed to for filling in space. So they've added the big banner on the right-hand side, for example, using the big vertical blocks. And like the crates and things. They've extended the length of the halberds. So again, this is a good example of how to get height without taking away models.
Not easy either, because I mean, one of the gluing repairs that I did was to glue a standard back together, and like getting the top of the standard at the same angle as the rest of the pole is just impossible. So a lot of patience has gone into that.
Can you see the creamy banner that says Kral's Salts, for example? At the end of the left-hand side, you can see the halberd on the top there, and the 2 to the left of it.
Yeah.
All 3 of them have had someone's hand on it, you can tell.
Ouch.
Because it's all snapped off. But yeah. And then you have that.
I mean, yeah, there's
Man of many words is Dan.
yeah. I mean, the unit looks absolutely awesome, doesn't it? And I think again, it just kind of comes back to verticality.
My question is, between that one and the previous unit, how many models are in this unit?
Yeah.
36 great swords.
Yeah, because I bet you're looking at the bases though, Dan.
Maybe
Doing quick maths.
Yes.
You're not looking at the people in the picture and saying there's 36 guys there that I need to kill. You're going right to the
For
base
sure.
and going 6 times 6.
I mean, you're absolutely right. That is exactly what I did.
I'd be more than happy to play against this, and I wouldn't bat an eyelid. I wouldn't bat an eyelid against it. It's devil's advocate. Would that be easy for someone who isn't necessarily narrative themed in their brain to understand what's going on?
It all depends on the opponent, and the setting.
Realistically, start of game, you're turning to your opponent and saying, "This is a unit of 36."
Exactly.
And this is a unit of 40 halberdiers.
Yeah, exactly. And the opponent should just say, "There you are, have 20 points because it looked so nice." Pre-made examples. So this is a company called Shibor. Never get this one right, but lots of different things that I think could be used.
See, if it's resin in the shape of a rock that you're gluing to the base, that's fine.
As opposed to going into your garden and getting a rock.
Yeah, if you got that rock and then cast it in resin, I'd be okay with it.
It's good. So again, big units, and then you get to the bigger ones, and you only probably use one of those statues in a unit of 30 because of how big it is. But it's something to break up the skyline, and again also provides variety.
Yeah.
Evil dwarfs. Cool. Thank you very much, guys. If you have any ideas about unit fillers, if you have anything that you think we've missed, if you really don't like them, then please let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Next up is the Art of War prize preview, part 1.
Ooh.
So this, guys, is exciting stuff. This is all the stuff that Staff's going to win, because he's going to wipe the floor with all the peoples.
I'm not sure if that's self-promotion or not.
So what we tried to do with this preview here, this isn't mentioning a lot of the things that we've already got. This is just some of the things that have confirmed in the past week. And it's lots of different ideas that we've got going towards. We're not sure which prizes they're going to go for yet, but it's all being added to the prize pool as we speak. So some fantastic companies in here. So you've got the 3D printers like Asgard Rising, Dragon's Lodge, Print Goes Ever On, and you've also then got some well-known brands for like different parts like Spellcrow, and then some gaming mat companies as well. So first up, we've got Spellcrow. We're going to use some of the models that Spellcrow have given us for the best in race trophies. So this year at Art of War, we're going to be doing, well, normally you do little samurai swords, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So this year we're actually going to make some nice trophies, and Spellcrow have provided those for us, which is we're really grateful for. So not going to tell you what it is yet, but we will show you in due course. Next up, we have Asgard Rising. So Asgard Rising are easily one of my favourites for the 3D print sort of scene, we'll say, especially considering that this is what they've got on offer for us, which is gorgeous. So they've offered a copy of each of these units to be used as a prize, which is, I think, is fantastic because these models are just stunning. You've printed a couple, Dan, haven't you?
Yeah. So yeah, they were a joy to print.
Yeah, very labyrinthian. Someone will be very lucky to get them. We then have Printing Goes Ever On, and to go with your Asgard Rising models, we have a whole range of goblin terrain for a goblin camp. The Mines of Maznar. You've got some goblin barricades, you've got some goblin different buildings, a little goblin watchtower. You've got a sneaky little goblin hiding in the rubble.
There he is.
The best sort of goblin.
Some goblin camps there as well. So again, a copy of each of those as well is available as a prize, which is fantastic. I want to win them because I think they make a fantastic goblin board. Next up, we have Fleshcraft Studio. So we showcased a couple of their models in the Halloween episode last month. But again, so grateful that they've given us their vampires and they've given us their demons. And so we have a copy of these up for grabs as well. So again, vampire knights, you've got a vampire and zombie dragon, you've got foot-mounted vampires, and you also have, on the right-hand side there, some flaming demons, the big infernal court at the back there, a sacrificial altar thingy with the woman about to be burnt to a crisp. Just could be used as undead, can be used as vermin demons, demon legion as well. So again, fantastic. Thank you so much to Fleshcraft Studio.
I was thinking Dread Elves.
Really?
Yeah, for the cauldron.
Oh yeah, the guys at the back, yeah. The guys at the front are a bit too flamey for the guys at the front, but
Bit too spicy.
too spicy. Next up, we have the Dragon and Trapper's Lodge, and because it is the Art of War and Samurai themed, they have given us all of their Asian range of models and prints to print out. So we have Kitsune, we have Kirins, Lightning Foxes, Lightning Wolves, we've got dragons, big tigers with samurai swords coming out of everywhere, and even a cockerel rider, which is always fun. The sculpts on these are absolutely fantastic, and this is only a tiny portion of the models that they've given us. So again, one copy of each of these is available for a prize as well. Again, fantastic. Thank you so much for Dragon Trapper's Lodge. Then Deep Cut Studio. So Deep Cut Studio have kindly given us a 6-foot by 4-foot rubber mouse mat backed mat. I think it's called the Realm of Death.
Yep.
Which would be a fantastic addition to anyone's gaming room. Normally retailing at about €70, which is no pocket change in today's economy. So fantastic. That is going to be one of the prizes as well. And we also have GameMat.eu, which have given us a 6-foot by 4-foot swamp mat, which is lovely. Feel free to try and win that one. It's going to be a fantastic tournament. I really can't wait to show you guys what I've got in store for you.
The amount of prizes that we've got in store for everyone attending Art of War is mind-blowing. Like, between Gobber and I, we've actually been struggling on figuring out how we're going to hand these prizes out. Because there's so many.
Everyone,
you pretty much just need a prize for every position.
Oh, your name starts with an R. You can have this mat. There we go. Okay, I hope you like those prizes, guys. Again, in future, so again, we want to do an entire video about all the prizes and what different categories we're doing for the painting competitions as well. So again, we look forward to that. That should hopefully be in January we're doing that. So next up, we have our hobby letter to Santa, because it's nearly Christmas and we want to get our wonderful sacks filled.
Yeah, we're not going to bite on that one.
No, thank God for that.
More hours in the day actually would be lovely. So, well, one thing I'm looking forward to, as I said earlier, I'm going to be working on the Vermin Swarm army next year. I'm in a position where I've got a lot of the infantry models sorted, so it's now going to be kind of the bigger toys that I'm after.
Unit
What
fillers.
are no. So in this case, so for example, I know I've got a unit of Murmillo Brutes, which are the big 50 by 50, gun ratty ogre type models. I've seen on my mini factory. I think it's Artisan's Guild, although don't quote me on that. There is a goblin mech golem machine type model, so I'm going to take those. I've seen it printed. I think the Spark Soot goblins, I believe it's that range. I've seen it printed. It looks phenomenal. Hopefully I'll be able to shrink it down, have a unit of goblin mechs, in these, goblins piloting these big barrel-based wooden mechs with Gatling guns. That'd be fun. And maybe something I can use as my melee chariots. So effectively, goblin carts with rockets attached to them.
Surely you're going to do goblin tanks.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, the problem with the goblin tank is that they're still only resilience 4, so they fall apart to a stiff breeze. So, but it's the thought that counts, right?
Always.
Exactly. What are you hoping for this year, Staff?
Well, it's probably about time I started actually looking towards some Dread Elf models. I really enjoyed playing Dread Elves on Universal Battle 2 during COVID, and I've always wanted a Dread Elf army. I don't own a single model, and I think I'm getting to the stage now, especially with a certain someone, clearing out my Orc and Goblin commission models, getting to these stages where I'm thinking about the next big project, and that really should be Dread Elves now. So, Temple Militants, bring it on. The Naked Ladies.
That's fair enough.
And what about you, Gobbo? What have you got your beady little eyes on?
I like the idea of time again, but I'm going to go with 3D printer stuff. I really want to get involved in 3D printing. I think it is the future.
Really is.
And I'd love to start seeing how many armies I can print, basically. Yeah, I think it'd be fantastic. And I'd love to start offering 3D print services as part of my repertoire. I think that'd be quite good. So, new year, new army. I said this last year. And I've probably had about 4 armies since then. Staff. Dread Elves it is then, yeah?
Well, I mean, Dread Elves, to be honest, I don't own a single one, and it's going to take longer than a few months to get an actual army, especially as I won't be painting them or modelling them myself. So it'll be very much an Orc and Goblin year for me next year, with the models that have only recently been painted by yourself. So in some ways it will be a new army, because there won't be any of my previous models.
Exactly.
And I haven't really played Orcs and Goblins consistently in a long while now. So it will be nice to use those new models. And yeah, it'll be a few years since I've used them previously consistently. So it'll feel like a new army.
I still think Orcs and Goblins are one of those armies that people just automatically discount, but actually can still do a lot of damage.
100%.
Yeah.
So I played correctly anyway. Not when it's just Goblins.
Yeah. Of course, the only potential sticking point to my Orcs and Goblins project will be the fact that the Saurian Ancients may well have a new book, which of course will draw me back.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yes. It's very true. So Dan's Vermin Swarm year for you then,
Yeah, it's don't.
He says with a sigh.
The prospect of well, I think it's actually just having to like sitting down and doing all those bases and knowing that that's about a third of the way. No, it's not even a third of the way.
So that'll take you till June.
Yeah,
2023.
and then I can start with the extra models. Yeah, it's going to be that. It's something that I've liked the look of for quite some time. Obviously, I've spoken about it on previous shows in the past. Yeah, I'm in a position now where my time is a lot more sparse and precious. I'm really kind of making sure that I'm just doing stuff that like I want to do, like I'm really enjoying doing, which is
very important.
why I had to obviously jump in and do another goblin army. So it's just logical sense.
A more numerous goblin army than your goblin army.
yeah, and not actually using the models from my existing goblin army for my new army, just actually having 2 goblin armies because I am a masochist.
We love you.
It's fine. We still love you. Exactly. New army for me, I don't know. I've tried this year experimenting with other things, but I can't get past the fact that I still love my Goblinians. And I wish I spent more time playing with them. So I only played them for about 15 games before the pandemic hit. I was really lucky to win best army with them at the last Art of War. But I still think they've got more to give as an army. I've got more ideas. I've got the Flebochet. We've got Knights Forlorn as well. And also Richard de Loonhart isn't done. He's not down and out after his tactical withdrawal in Northampton.
But to be honest, with the Flebochet, if you don't make that into a proper Treb soon, I will be stealing it as a splatterer. So have that as a warning.
Will you? Okay. But I've got Squigasus Knights as well. I need to do a unit of Squigasus Knights. What else? Another damsel. I'd like to try do like shamanism or cosmology. Was it Div? Sorry.
Divination,
Is it Div?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've done druidism to death, as everyone has.
Yawn.
Yeah. Yawn. It just works though. That's the
So
problem.
they say.
Oh, I know. So yeah, Flebochet. That'll keep us going.
Good.
Okay. Hobby goals next year. So what I mean by this is, are you going to try and learn a new skill?
Switch. I'll just switch off my mic. Yeah.
So I've had an airbrush for some considerable time. At the moment I usually just kind of use the airbrush for base coating or like zenithal highlighting and the sort. But I'm really I dipped my toe into it slightly with the gnome bots, like using the airbrush as the primary painting tool, and then just kind of going back in with the paintbrush for details. I really want to kind of press in on that a bit more. So for example, with the Tau
good shout.
Models that I'm putting together, like that's a lot of nice, smooth, curved, flat panels, which will work. Sit really nice with an airbrush. That's the kind of hobby goal for me. Is just get more
Awesome. Keep going.
more proficient with the airbrush.
Yes, that's good. Mine, I think, is gonna have to be 3D print related. So I want to teach myself how to do the rendering, how to do the actual 3D print process, and actually make it worth my while and worth my time, if that makes sense. Rather than just as a hobby, actually, is it a tool that I could use to benefit my business, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I'd back that.
And yourself, Stan.
Well, I'm actually devolving because of the fact that I just go to the gobbo now. I don't need any of my own skills when I have a gobbo. So yeah, that's my.
You could teach yourself something on the computer.
Yeah. How to contact you more efficiently to get my models painted better and quicker.
I mean, I would I'd take it as a compliment that your commissions are so good that Hyper-G here just doesn't need to do it. So yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, he's devolved as a human.
Yeah.
Because of
Yeah. Why would I own paint anymore? I actually looked at the paint that I have,
Exactly.
and Yeah, it's dried up now.
Yeah, using arrowdite to stick together.
With free skin samples included.
Exactly. Yeah, skin and bone into
Yeah.
it. Okay, so T9A wish list for next year.
Temple militants.
You've already got Temple Militants, and they're already overpowered.
No one's taking them to tech. I'm gutted.
It's because everyone thought, they're overpowered. Everyone will just go against Dread Elves.
The new Vermin Swarm rule where you have to kill 2 models for a point of combat res. But on goblins.
Good one. Yeah. I think skinks with higher than discipline 5 would be my wish list.
Okay, so mine, I'd like to see a more varied Kingdom of Equitane list. And I can't wait to goblinize everything that they come up with. Okay. There we go. Thank you so much for joining us today, guys. And it's nice for you to stick around. If you would like to have your models showcased, or your gaming club showcased, or anything showcased, please don't hesitate to get in contact with thepaintgoblin@gmail.com. So please like, share, and subscribe to get more hobby and 9th Age related content. Remember to check out YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, what else is there? Facebook, 9th Age forums, all of the social medias. Okay, and this is Hobby G's first time.
And you want me to try and say
yes,
that, do you?
100%.
Right, okay.
One breath.
Yes.
Right, okay, so
One breath.
don't forget to give... No, I've already got it wrong. Don't forget to #GiveAGoblin. We would love to see pics of your selective saurian salamanders searching and scouring swamps, soliciting suggestively to society. Yes, that's 10 S's, enough to kill.
Yes.
Oh!
How
Well
about that? Once
Good
I'd got over the hashtag, that wasn't too bad, was
Exactly. That's very well done. You can stay.
it?
So, army commissions available. We have Empire of Sonstal. We have Vampire Covenant, Vermin Swarm, Beast Herd, Undying Dynasties, 4 separate armies of Undying Dynasties. We have Silvernails, and I haven't actually put it on here, but we also have some Perry miniatures for Empire of Sonstal as well. So we actually got 2 Empire of Sonstal armies that people could potentially own. If you're interested in what's on offer, please don't hesitate to get in touch. You could use our handy little guide in our discussion earlier to help you. And everyone, please go out and be a positive hobby influencer. Go out and talk to people. Go on Instagram. Go on all the different medias and tell people what you love about their models. And get the conversation going from, actually, that's quite a bad mold line on there, to I really enjoy that conversion you've done, or thank you so much for sharing your stuff, etc., etc. We want to be positive. We want to really grow our hobby. And thank you so much for listening. And thank you so much, guys, for joining me. Hobby G, have you enjoyed your first day out?
Very much so, but I'm not going to lie. I will enjoy going back to being the Hyper G.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's been good fun. Looking forward to all the projects we're going to be getting on with next year.
Looking forward to Christmas now.
Yeah.
So next month, it's going to be slightly different. We're going to be doing Christmas-related models, which will be fun. We're going to do a little bit more previews of the A to Z of companies for models available from there. And we're probably going to do a little bit of a Christmas sort of kit bash challenge, which will be quite interesting. So hope to see you all next month, and stay safe, guys.
Bye.
Take care.